Hello Internet and welcome to my channel Tromsø Twilight, where I, Vincent, talk to you, the void, about music, books and films that I'm interested in. So far I've only talked about books and films, but today I'm going to be talking about music because I'm starting a short series in commemoration of David Lynch, who died recently. I didn't have time to talk about it because I was at the film festival here in Tromsø. I've got some other videos about that if you would like to see them. I thought I would talk a little bit about some of David Lynch's less celebrated works. Next week I'm going to go and see Inland Empire at the cinema here. It was already planned to be shown here before he died. They've been showing Lynch films over the past couple of years. I saw Eraserhead last year. They also showed Wild at Heart, which is maybe Eraserhead and Wild at Heart, maybe my two favourites. But I really love Inland Empire, so I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we're not talking about movies today. We're going to be talking about this album, The Big Dream, by David Lynch, released in 2013, I believe, and created with his frequent collaborator on music, Dean Hurley. They also made an album together called Crazy Clown Time a couple of years prior. Crazy Clown Time was interesting, it was kind of cool, but for me it was a bit like the way I feel about a lot of David Lynch's paintings, which is that it's trying slightly too hard to be dark and weird and creepy in a way that normally you never feel like he's like trying too hard. But on that album I felt like he wasn't quite nailing it with music, whereas this album, The Big Dream, the style and the concept is very well executed and the songs are great, and I really love this album. The album came with a single, which is this single here called I'm Waiting Here, which had vocals from the Swedish artist Lykke Li. That was the lead single for the album, but it's actually not on the album proper. I'm Waiting Here is very much like the kind of thing you might have heard in Twin Peaks. It's similar to some of the sort of old style, almost Buddy Holly influenced arpeggio guitar, very pretty melody songs that you remember from that series. Lots of reverb, very atmospheric and beautiful. On the actual album, The Big Dream, all of the songs are these kind of weird blues songs. They are recognisably in the blues idiom, but they're sonically closer to like a combination of maybe Massive Attack and some other early trip hop, maybe Tricky, combined with the weird soundscapes and sound effects that you hear in David Lynch's movies. And then you have his very recognisable, eccentric, thin vocal over the top, singing and reciting strange surrealist versions of blues songs. I'll give you an example of a lyric from this album, which is from one of my favourite songs, Last Call. Here's the first verse. I catch a Bob Kitchen, I fly a Dan Garage, I swim a George Asylum, now Pete's in charge. Got a bulb with a ladder, hang a Pete balloon. I miss you so much, baby. Hope you come back real soon, real soon. And then the chorus is, last call, time, gentlemen, please. It's got this weird, creepy, otherworldly aspect, but also slightly absurd, slightly silly, in a way that's not necessarily comic, but maybe childlike. And if you'll notice this reference to the name Bob, which is in Twin Peaks, but also in several of Lynch's paintings, as if he thinks the name Bob is just so strange that he never quite gets bored of applying it to things. There are some rock and roll style songs on this album, which are almost like kind of trip hop influenced versions of ZZ Top or something. On one of them, Lynch is making references to one of the characters in Blue Velvet. There's some quite melancholy and beautiful breakup songs on this album, like Cold Wind Blowing and The Line It Curves. And another highlight on this album is a Bob Dylan cover, which is called, what's it called again? The Ballad of Hollis Brown, which is the story of a farmer or a landsteader who has no money and ultimately shoots his family so that they don't have to starve. And it's kind of recited across this repetitive rhythm with little bits of strange blues guitar and picked arpeggios and synthesizers. I've actually never heard Bob Dylan's version, but this version fits so well with the rest of the album that I actually didn't realise it was a cover the first time I heard it. Anyway, I didn't want to make this video particularly long, but I just wanted to give some attention to this album that I don't hear many people talking about, and I've seen a lot of different tributes to Lynch since he died, but I haven't heard people talk much about his music. So I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention, and if you've heard it before, maybe you enjoyed me talking about it. I also just want to brag a little bit. This vinyl is numbered and it's 231 of 500. So I bought it in the record shop in Bergen, but apparently it was very limited edition. The next video I'm going to make is going to be about David Lynch's very little known, very obscure sitcom from the early 90s called On the Air. And then I'm going to talk about Inland Empire next week. I'd like to thank you very much for watching my video. While I'm here, I'd like to take the opportunity to say fuck Elon Musk, and I would like to wish you a lovely day.